Hello, dear Gemini. I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your March 2022 horoscope. And we are starting the month with a Pisces new moon. Should be a very sweet and sensitive and also highly intuitive new moon. And I think this is going to bode well for you because we also have Mercury, your ruler, canoodling with Saturn at this time. And even though Mercury and Saturn together can create some heavy thoughts and big decisions that need to be made that have long-term effects. With this being a new moon, it could have you thinking really seriously about how you could have more empathy, more healing, more compassion. It may have you having conversations with people who are also needing your expert opinion because this is affecting your 10th and 9th houses. And so you may be thinking really seriously about why I believe what I do or what gives me great meaning and purpose. And then can I offer that to others? And they may be easily seeking you out to say, can you help me? Because you are an authority in this particular area. This new moon does create a natural square to your sign, being another mutable sign. But that square shows me that you may be working really hard with some new clients, a new project, a new role, something that lets you be a leader, if you will. A few of you Geminis may be releasing something at this time because it's a new moon that's creating spaciousness. And this release could have some celebration. It could have some real great emotional bolstering of your reputation. People, you may be seen as someone who others consider to be almost golden, if you will. That's a nice color that I see for you, is this golden energy around you. We also have during this time, this new moon time, we have Venus and Mars canoodling with Pluto, activating that 8th house. And Venus and Mars have been traveling through your 8th house for the last month. And now it is going to make this powerful conjunction or this canoodling with Pluto, which could activate some real sense of intimacy, wanting to put some structure and roots and feeling very accomplished in certain areas of your life that have to do with maybe a joint resource or the sharing of properties, ideas, and ways that let you feel really solid and secure. Now, it could also bring up here with Pluto sitting here, and you've been working with Pluto here for a while, that it could bring up some trust issues. But with Venus and Mars, you can easily attract desire to work them out and to make sure that everybody is on the same page and that you're collectively going deeper into maybe more of the psychological nature with it here. And so when the mind can rest, because it's going to make a sextile to that 10th house, you can focus on all the accolades and all the wonderful healing qualities and compassion and all the creative juices that may be flowing at this new moon. And you can find that when something gets unearthed here with Pluto, that it can actually give you more content and more experience that you can share with others, and that you can also have a strengthening of your reputation of like, yeah, this Gemini knows what they're talking about. I would even say a few of you Geminis may be working in the healthcare industry, that this is a time where you could be raised to a leadership role, or you could be seen as spearheading a particular project or initiative. And this could give you quite a bit of activity and attention. And with all this attention, I just see a few of you Geminis being able to go, wow, now I'm ready to plan for the future and to rest into I'm safe, I'm secure with my current role. Now, let's talk about relationship for a second as well. With this being a new moon, you may be setting some intentions, if you're single, about how you can connect deeper with somebody who has great depth and great meaning, and doing that for yourself first and foremost. And then when this new moon occurs, you're able to put yourself into a situation that maybe you connect through some form of taboo situation, something that seems a little out of character for yourself. But what that does is it's like, hey, going through an initiation. And so is this person, and together we're able to form a strong bond. There's emotional bonding here that can happen, and that you're not going to mess around with the flighty, the relationships or the people that just don't complement something deeper. I know, Gemini, you like to keep things light and flirty, but this particular energy says, I need that stable partner in order to be able to launch and to flit and float and do the things that I love to do. And this is a perfect energy for you to find that person if you're willing to go a little bit deeper and trust yourself first and foremost. Bonded Geminis, you will find that you and your partner may have to talk through a few intimacy issues or trust issues, but what it can do is it emotionally bonds you, because once you get through it all, and it may be a little tumultuous at this new moon, but there's a lot of sympathy and a lot of empathy here that you can put yourself in the other person's shoes, and you can start talking through conflict resolution and things like that, and come up with something that works for both of you, maybe mixing things up in the bedroom a little bit more, trying something a little taboo that you wouldn't normally do. I would even say, Gemini, you may go into something like role playing. I mean, why not? Mix it up with your loved one and just have some fun, and try not to take it too seriously. I do feel that around this first week of March as well, especially when the sun makes a canoodling or conjunction with Jupiter at the end of the week, it's going to be on a weekend, and that's activating your 10th house. That's March 5th. And so this first week of March could have you finding good luck in loans, in getting more attention around things like money, inheritance, if you need to settle an estate. This is all good energy for it. If you and your partner, you may benefit quite a bit from something that your partner, if you are in a bonded relationship, and this doesn't just mean romance, it could be professional as well, but you may benefit greatly this first week of March from somebody else that you are close to winning the lottery, or coming into some money and sharing it, or talking about how much they value you, and maybe they get promoted and you receive the compensation benefits. Could be something like that. Venus and Mars will enter Aquarius just after this week, after the Sun and Jupiter are canoodling, so March 6th, and it's going and these two cosmic lovers are going to stay canoodling, kissing each other for the entire month of March in the sign of Aquarius, and Venus will officially be out of shadow at this time, and this is going to activate more of your 9th house. So you may be thinking and collaborating and having ideas around a particular philosophy or belief system, something that gives you great meaning. And so with Venus and Mars here, you can easily attract opportunities to be able to share, what is it that I believe? Why am I doing what I do? What gives me great meaning? There's also opportunities to release some form of writing, publication, a coursework, something like that. So if you're in your own business and you're trying to launch a certification or a subscription or something along those lines, this is a great month for you to do that, because you'll find that people, especially those who want to collaborate or work as teams, come out of the woodwork and from all over in wide, various expansive places to be able to drive your initiatives or your ideas forward. You may be in charge of doing that, of driving a particular initiative forward and finding far-reaching audiences. I will say too, Geminis, those of you who work in the communication field or any sort of media, this month of March is a great time to focus on your marketing, your sales, your releasing of coursework, getting signups, that sort of thing. This is a great energy for that. Mercury enters Pisces March 10th, and the Sun and Neptune will canoodle on March 13th, all activating your 10th house. So Mercury's going to be running, I don't know if Mercury runs a whole lot through the sign of Pisces because it's so watery, but Mercury in Pisces, Sun canoodling Neptune, 10th house activation could have you finding great inspiration and hope that your reputation's secure, or that you're an expert or an authority on something in particular. If you've had conflict with somebody in authority, this is a very sweet time where you can rest into gentler, more compassionate, empathetic conversations. You may be the one that has to offer the empathy for somebody in authority because they may have to leave, or they may have been put in their place. This also has a beautiful energy leading up to a Virgo full moon, which will create another square for you. However, March 18th, it's going to be activating that fourth house. So if you look at it in terms of first, 10th, fourth houses, these squares are going to create some tension that allows you to work really hard. And I sense with all this Piscean nature and energy that you may have oversensitivity, especially if you're overthinking something or the conversations that you have with people trigger some old wounding. But it does also give you a chance to clear out anything that doesn't serve you in your home. So you may be literally moving home, or you may be cleaning it out because you're putting it up for sale. So there's some of that. But this Virgo full moon can also give you a chance to look at maybe your ancestral roots, your family, and maybe there's been wounding there, or there's old patterns that you just want to heal and release. And with this energy, you can have the opportunity the second week of March to do just that, maybe to revisit and talk about things that you wouldn't normally talk about in your home life. Maybe sharing this with somebody that you care about, because this can actually deepen your intimacy. Because remember that Pluto is still sitting in that eighth house, transforming your trust. Who do you trust? What is trust? What is vulnerability? All of that. So having these conversations that bring out more opportunities for empathy and compassion and clearing out all of the ancestral patterns and roots, doing some good healing work there can deepen the bonds and the intimacy that you so much want in a relationship. I would even say, Gemini, you're not known for commitment. That's a generalized word, or quality for you. But I do feel that you may find yourself ping-ponging a little bit between, can I commit fully to this particular project or this person and still do my own thing, or still do the things that I feel have great meaning and commission to do in this world. One other shadow, if you will, to Mercury and Pisces is that a lot of deception can occur here, because maybe it is intentional, maybe it's not. I don't want to send you into paranoia, especially as you're working with trust issues, but not everything is as it appears when Mercury is in Pisces. There's a bit of an illusion that gets created in the mind. And so watch out for flattery, watch out for, if you're single, especially if you're in the dating world and you find yourself wooed and romanticized by somebody, it may not be exactly what they are presenting. I would say there's probably going to be a lot of catfishing going on during this time. So if you're doing the online dating thing, please make sure that you use your own set of protection, having a friend or family member, somebody backing you up. Also, inviting somebody to meet in person and see if they line up with their pictures. Just try not to get too discouraged during this time, but do trust your intuition, because Mercury in Pisces is very intuitive. And being your ruler, all that clairvoyant information that drops in, you may want to pay attention to. And the other thing I would say is that with this Virgo full moon and Mercury in Pisces, what I will offer, you may be thinking a little bit more creatively and inspirationally about how you can rearrange, renovate your home, your interior space, where you find your sense of belonging. Having you roll up your sleeves and saying, you know what, let's get to the details. So that's a good thing. I'll jump back to relationship for those Geminis who are in a bonded one and it feels really good to you. Then you and your partner may decide to do some cleaning around your relationship. In other words, what are some old patterns, toxic patterns, some things that just don't serve you anymore? It's time to release them. But I would say mostly, Gemini, you're looking at maybe your garage or your closet or your kitchen cabinets, you name it, and you're going through and you've got your bags of donation, your bags of what needs to go in the trash, and then reorganizing. I see a lot of you Geminis reorganizing things. Watch out for that negative self-talk. Watch out for being overly critical, you and your partner. Yeah, maybe over criticizing them. One of the greatest gifts we can give a partner in a relationship is to love them, including their faults, because none of us are perfect. The sun enters Aries, making a beautiful sextile to your sun, moon, or rising sign in Gemini. And that's on the spring equinox on March 20th. And it's just after this full moon, activating your 11th house, hopefully creating a lightness for you, an opportunity for you to socialize a bit more, to have some wishes fulfilled, to see your friends and to be able to spend time with friends. Maybe you start planning for time away with your friends, especially if there's something that inspires you. You may even feel a little bolder in speaking up and connecting and socializing and getting out there. And I see a lot of you Geminis either on a trip during this week or planning one and getting out of town, going somewhere that just lets you breathe, put your toes in the sand, or lets you connect and talk and learn and do something that just feeds your soul, because it feels like things have just been a little too heavy or a little too serious, or you've been working a little too hard, but now you have a chance to talk, and share and connect and all those things that you love to do. And then we've got Mercury canoodling Jupiter, Mars sextiling Chiron on the 21st, right after this equinox. And that's your 9th, 10th, and 11th houses. So this tells me it adds more social ability, especially with Jupiter there. It can expand it. It can give you some great ideas if you felt like you were a little stuck or you weren't sure about certain things, that now it can drop in. And you may be really driven to share these ideas. Also, if you are in a situation that it felt a little deceptive or something just didn't feel right, information can drop in right about now, and you get that clarity and you can make some decisions that line up with who you feel is the best version of you. This is a very healing opportunity as well. And I keep pointing back to the healing. This is healing about, for you, Gemini, being your own individual self, going, yeah, you know what? I like it fun and lighthearted. I'm good with that. So why not? Let me connect and let me own who I am and just be who I am. And those who line up, great. And those who don't, I let them go. I would also say that around this time, a few of you Geminis, if you're looking for work, this is a time where you find it and you get to start your role. I see a lot of you starting in the communication roles. And also, this is a time where the second half of March, where you'll be able to gather an enormous amount of intuitive information, inspiration, hope, and you can share it with others freely and generously. If you're worried about your finances, this second half of March should show you new clients, new opportunities to bring in another income, whatever you might need in order to feel as though you're truly healing. I'll point to those Geminis who are in some form of relationship that doesn't feel good to you. This, I feel, the second half of March is where you have those more meaningful, maybe harder conversations, but it can give you more objectivity, especially with Venus and Mars in Aquarius here. It can give you a more objective view so that you're not maybe going overboard on the emotions or reacting on the emotions. And I will say, as a rule of thumb for all of us, if you're at a heightened state of emotions, whether it's anger or hurt or fear or worry, whatever it might be, it's best to take care of yourself, to pull back, step back, take care of yourself first, talk to a third party, whatever it might be, then approach the person if it's needed at that time to discuss what's actually happening. Because I do see a couple of you Geminis letting go of a particular friendship that no longer serves, and it may be a personal relationship, like a romance, but I'm leaning more towards the friendship piece here, because it may have its natural ending, but I sense for you it has a lot more to do with, if this doesn't feel balanced, if it doesn't feel like it has real substance, why am I spending my time there? Because you're going to be so busy in the upcoming months that you really need quantity or quality over quantity. All right, Gemini, I hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Come find me at jamiedawn.com, and I look forward to hearing how this goes for you. Take care.